Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Paul Schrimpf, going solo. We sent a contingent down to the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, so they're gathering lots of information and intelligence, I'm sure, on what's going on in the marketplace, while I'm here kind of minding the store. A couple of interesting developments over the last couple of weeks. We saw that Monsanto got approval for the Roundup Ready 2 Extend, which they've been working on for a very long time. We're sweating bullets about whether it would be available come the spring, but it turns out it is. The announcement came pretty much on the heels of the announcement of Syngenta and ChemChina Deal. Well, I'm not going to say the two were connected at all. I'm sure that they weren't, but it sure is coincidence that the two kind of came at the same time. It was interesting. The other thing is we got a release from Case this morning. I'm sure this is something that's being talked about at the Farm Machinery Show. That they're taking the steps to open up their development. They've got a developer site, and they're looking for partners, particularly in the cloud, and tying into the Case technology. So it'll be interesting to see where Case goes from there. But it's definitely a step in a different direction for them in terms of the technology that they're embracing and the types of things that they're doing. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But wanted to share with you also a bit on the Syngenta deal. Jackie Pucci, who's our senior editor for our sister publication, AgriBusiness Global, they do a video called AgriBusiness Update, and she and Dave Frabotta were talking specifically about this deal. She's kind of our point person on that, and she has assembled a number of the details and some thoughts on why and how and where and so forth as to what's going to be happening with this deal. So we're going to run that tape right now and have Jackie and Dave talking about this really important deal for agriculture.
The Chief Operating Officer, Deborah Pisk, said that the deal with Monsanto really never was a deal to begin with. That, even though the number was higher, $47 billion versus the $43 billion that ChemChina ended up offering, much of that was in the form of shares, and those shares have dropped in value, Monsanto shares, since that time. And so the ChemChina deal was all cash, and that there were not as many regulatory concerns as there were with the Monsanto deal. So there were just too many concerns about whether the deal would close at all. And also he said that there were the deal is not contingent on creating cost synergies, meaning there are no job cuts that need to be made, he said, which might have been the case with Monsanto. And that overall it was just a better deal for growers, the customers.
And now we're not hearing any news because of the holiday in China. The board of directors is recommending this deal to shareholders. Do we have any ideas when the next step might occur?
Yeah, he said that unanimously backing the deal, and that he expects by the end of the year that it should close.
Okay, great. So that's underway. Of course, ChemChina's the largest chemical company in China for ag chem, about 5% of the global market. They anticipate adding Syngenta, which is about 17%, I think, of the global market. You're looking at the largest crop protection company in the world.
I know domestically the Syngenta-ChemChina deal is something that retailers are talking a lot about, what an impact it will have on agriculture domestically. We're watching that closely. We've talked to some experts who don't think it'll be a particularly significant impact in terms of the distribution channel, but that certainly does remain to be seen. Well, that's it for this edition of Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.